Alrighty, hey everyone. We're gonna get started in just a little bit. We'll wait for a few more folks to jump on the stream with us. We're just gonna talk about what we've seen so far tonight and what we can expect as we go through the rest of the overnight and then in through early portions of Monday morning. So far, in a nutshell, we have seen winds gusting to about 30 to 35 miles per hour. Now, we are still expecting the peak of those wind gusts later on during the overnight period. There's still time for those winds to go up a little bit. We're also going to talk about some of the power outages that we've seen so far tonight, um, kind of all over the place too, not just for the shoreline. We've seen it in northwestern Connecticut, eastern Connecticut, portions of the Connecticut shoreline. So let us know if you guys are out of power. And I do have all the comments up in front of me as well. So if you guys have any questions about the forecast, what we can expect, feel free to put those in the comments and I can answer those for you guys as well. So it looks like there's a good bit of us that are joining here again, guys. Feel free to ask away in the comments section there and I can pull in those questions for us. So we've seen those showers start from earlier this afternoon. This is a look at radar right now. As we move through tonight, I still think there's going to be the chance for some more moderate rain at times. We're going to throw in the potential for some gusty winds as well. And then as we go through portions of Monday, I think we'll start to see more in the way of on and off scattered showers. Eventually, everything begins to taper off late Monday night. And then by Tuesday, I think we're just mainly cloudy, mostly cloudy skies on Tuesday with the chance for a few showers potentially left over in the morning. And then we're back to the sunshine starting on Wednesday. That's the general nutshell of it all. And we'll get into some of the details here as we go through the next few hours. So let's take a closer look at home. Let's talk about what we were seeing across Connecticut right now. So we actually have some more moderate showers going on just in and around north of the Hartford area. So we zoom in a little bit closer here. There you go. So places like Avon, Burlington, Windsor, even stretching up a little bit further to the north there. You guys are seeing some of those showers right now. Closer look at Avon for us. And that's where you can really see right along 202, 44. A good bit of those more moderate showers highlighted there, yellow and even uh, throw in some orange in there as well. And that just continues. You can see that good bit of it. We switched this over to the Boston radar. It picks it up a little bit higher, so it makes it look a little bit worse than it actually is. So we'll try to stick with the Long Island radar. But you can see those pockets of yellow, so pockets of some steadier rain, Meriden, Waterbury, and even through sections of the Connecticut shoreline. So Brantford also seeing some of those showers, New Haven, and that's true for Clinton, Old Saybrook. So everyone's seeing some more moderate showers. But one of the things that was interesting this afternoon, it took a while for the northwestern corner to receive some of that rainfall. It took a little bit there. Now, this is what we've picked up so far for rain today. Last 24 hours, an inch of rainfall for Stonington, just under about half an inch for the Hartford area, and about just over half an inch for Bridgeport, and just under about 3/4 of an inch in the New Haven area. So we're going to add to these totals a little bit more. Still expecting anywhere from 1 to possibly up to about 2 inches of rain. But take a look at this. This is going through portions of the overnight. So now the clock started here at about 12:30 in the morning. There's some areas of red. This is actually a new update from our in-house model here. So let's see how this does as we head through early Monday morning. This is about 3:30 in the morning. There's that potential for some more moderate showers there. That continues as we head in through that 7 o'clock in the morning. Then here's how things start to break apart a little bit for us during the afternoon on Monday. So we're not completely dry on Monday afternoon, but we're just seeing on and off scattered showers. It's still going to be breezy as we head through the afternoon tomorrow, but the bulk of the rainfall, I think the heaviest of the rainfall will be essentially now and all the way through Monday morning. I think any time after 11 o'clock in the morning, we'll start to see things break apart a little bit more. There you go on Tuesday, starting to see some clearing. Wednesday, we're back to the sunshine, and it's going to be a little bit cooler as a cold front moves in. That cold front is actually going to help us clear out as we head through tonight. So we are going to end up seeing that front move in as we head through portions of Tuesday into Wednesday there, and then we'll be in pretty good shape. So here's a look again, what we can expect rainfall wise. Again, an inch to 2 inches across Connecticut. Those areas that see the back-to-back of those more moderate showers will have the higher chance for some of those totals to be a little bit higher there as well. Um, Looks like we're getting a few comments here, so let me pop these in a little bit. So we're getting about 27 mile per hour gusts. So starting to see that. And Monique, so the wind won't really be that bad during the night. So we're going to see those winds peak for if you're in inland Connecticut, those winds gusting between about 30 to 35 miles, from 30 to 40 miles per hour for inland Connecticut. That's down a little bit from what we were saying yesterday. And that's kind of in line with what we've seen so far today. So we'll have that chance for those winds to go up just a little bit more in Torrington. So Monique, yeah, in Torrington there, still under that category. We'll get to the winds here in just a second. I want to take you guys out to this is downtown Hartford. It might be a little tough for you guys to see, but the right-hand side of your screen there, that's the Founders Bridge, and you might be able to see the flags kind of blowing in the breeze a little bit there. So we do have some steady wind out there, and we're seeing some gusts a little bit. Same picture from Waterbury, and you can also see the town green there in the middle. And you can, again, I wish we could zoom this in a little bit more, but you could see the flag also blown around a little bit. And we've seen that for a good majority of the state. This is what we've seen so far as those wind gusts are concerned. So about 25 to 35 miles per hour. It was a little bit higher there in Bridgeport, but we're still expecting the bulk of those winds to arrive as we move past midnight. The shoreline, I think those winds are going to be just slightly higher, still having that potential 40, maybe up to 50 miles per hour, but that might be a little bit high. And maybe we'll save that just for Long Island itself. So winds right now gusting to 31 in Bridgeport, 25 in New Haven, and about 30 in Groton. Wind advisory is still in effect, so that's for winds to about 40 to 45 miles per hour. And that high wind warning for Long Island, that's winds up to 60. So that bulk of those core of winds, if you will, really not that far away. We also got a comment here from North Haven. Not too bad there. So that's great news. And, our reporter, Jeremy Chen, he's been out in the Milford area, and he was also saying the same thing, that conditions there weren't that bad. We were talking about some of the flooding risks along the shoreline there. Those are really for where we get the most vulnerable areas. So if you're just one of those spots that just always seems to have some problems when the tide comes in, it's really those type of locations. So we weren't expecting a widespread flooding issue, hence why we have an advisory versus a warning. If it was a coastal flood warning, well, that means essentially that risk is a little bit more widespread versus the advisory is just kind of a tier below that, if you will. So something to keep an eye on there. Here's a look at our wind gust forecast as we continue on through the overnight period. So 1 o'clock in the morning there, you can see across the state, again, in general, inland Connecticut, 30 to 40 miles per hour. But with the water, with the wind on the water for the shoreline, that's where we think we could see gusts just a little bit higher. So we'll keep that in mind as we head through the day tomorrow. Even this is 11 o'clock in the morning for Monday, still having some gusty conditions throughout the day. So as if you're driving to work in the morning, you're going to be dealing with the rain, and there'll still be some wind. So you might feel the car get moved around a little bit. So 2 hands on the steering wheel for the morning commute tomorrow. Gradually, though, this is Tuesday morning, we start to see those winds die down a little bit. So gusting on Tuesday between about 15 to 25 miles per hour or so. The other part of this, like I mentioned, is that coastal flood advisory that is for the entire Connecticut shoreline. Again, really just kind of focusing in there at high tide. So something to um, keep an eye on there if you are in one of those more vulnerable spots. The next high tide cycle is tomorrow morning. So that is going to be about 4:48 for New Haven, just after 4 o'clock in the morning for Old Saybrook, and then just before 3 o'clock in the morning for the New London area. Now, we're also going to have an additional high tide cycle for Monday afternoon. So we'll keep an eye on both high tides for Monday. But again, if we were kind of seeing this go play through a little bit differently, we could see those higher tide cycles, maybe even through portions of Tuesday. But I think by Tuesday we'll be in a much better shape. I was looking at one of the comments over here. It would be nice if we were in January, and I know I think most of us have already thought, wow, it's a nor'easter. What if this was all snow? So something to uh, it's always fun to think about there. But I feel like most of our luck, it would be about 33 or 34 degrees, and we would just miss out on all the bulk of the snow. But not quite to winter just yet. Guys, thanks so much for all the comments. Really appreciate it. Tom is out in Old Lyme. No wind really in Old Lyme, the worst earlier before the rain. So we'll keep an eye on the winds, yeah, as we head through tonight. and into the early portions of the morning. We'll see how all those winds really start to play out. Again, I think we're going to miss out on the core of all of this. We'll get to some of the forecast models here in just a sec. Let's continue on through talking about our water levels here. So this is a flood gauge report. The current levels, I don't know if you guys can actually see. I don't believe you can. My cursor. That's okay. So where it says C, that's our current water height there for Bridgeport. You guys are at about 3.5 feet for that current tide. The forecast peak tide is going to be Monday morning. That's 5 a.m. And that's what that 9.8 means. So that gets you to minor flood stage. And again, if you're on the shoreline there, minor flood stage really essentially means those more vulnerable locations. So we'll keep that in mind there. Tonight, temperature wise, we're back down to the 50s in the morning, windy, and we're dealing with showers. Cool tomorrow with temperatures remaining into the 50s, and on and off showers continue for our Monday. High temperatures there, close to about 57 degrees. Another report, Adam. Adam, thanks for that. No wind yet, East Berlin. So that is some good news for you guys. Let's jump to, I want to show you guys some of the outages that we've seen so far. Let me know too in the comments if you guys have lost some power. If the lights have kind of flickered on and off, let me know what you guys are seeing out there as well. Let's jump into this a little bit here. Let me pull up. That's looking at some of our forecast models, but I want to show you guys the latest from Eversource right now. So this is a look at some of our power outages right now. Let me see if I can click on a couple of things. So one of the towns that I've noticed a little bit here would be Simsbury. Right now, just below about 300 customers without power there. But as you can see, it's not focused in one particular area. So we have outages in northwestern Connecticut, eastern Connecticut, southeastern Connecticut. At one point, there was actually a good bit of outages down in Stamford there. Right now, there are about 220 outages, but we have outages in West Hartford, down along the shoreline for places, Westbrook. We also have Clinton, a few outages there, about 117 outages in Guilford. And you know what I can do for you guys too is pull up current outages just in general across the state. So right now, I'm not sure if you guys are able to read that. That's about 1,200 outages in total. The top towns here that are out of power, not a whole lot of outages, but there are some. Simsbury, Stamford, Guilford, Voluntown, as well as Tolland. All of those towns more than 100 outages, and those top two more than 200 outages right now. But you can see the list kind of continues down here. And as I'm looking at this now, you guys actually can't see it's cut off the actual towns associated with that. But you got a good idea based on that map. Let me show you guys the UI outages right now. So we got a few in and around the New Haven area. We got about one outage there in New Haven. Same thing in West Haven. Let's go down to Fairfield, about one as well. So you guys are all in the green. So that is some good news for you guys along the shoreline there. Looks like we're going to be, let's see if I have any other comments on here. Pouring rain in Hartford. Thanks so much for that report there. And Tom's saying that there are some friends there in Lyme that don't have power yet. So it's just kind of depending on where you are. If you're in a more wooded area, you're kind of used to having those outages here and there. So just kind of keep that in mind too. Crews are going to be busy for parts of the state. Will Tuesday be a better day to drive? Definitely. So we're going to lose the rain factor a little bit. We'll still have I'm still thinking we'll have some showers left over in the morning, but the afternoon on Tuesday will really start to dry out and the winds are going to be a little bit less. So that's going to be good for those that maybe have to do a longer drive or just heading out and about in general. I think you'll have not as much to worry about by Tuesday. And by Wednesday, we're going to be great. We're going to be back to feeling like fall, and we're going to be on the drier side as well. Now, we definitely could use the rain. Remember, guys, it's been dry, so we're gladly going to take the rain. We were just hoping that the winds will remain on the lighter side, and so far tonight they have, which is fantastic news. Just plain old rain there in Cheshire. Thanks so much for that report as well. And then Sheila in Old Saybrook saying the winds are flaring up a little bit. Let's see if I can jump back to, I can't the right computer, some of our current wind gusts right now. Give me 1 second here. Okay, yeah, so winds aren't, again, totally outrageous, which is great news for us. Let me see if I can get back to you guys here and switch this over. So here you go. There's a look at the wind gust right now. Currently, Groton about 30 miles per hour. Chester about 23, 25 in New Haven, and 31 in Bridgeport. We do have a regional. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can find our wind gusts across the Northeast, because that will kind of show a larger picture. Model. Maybe 2 seconds here. Doing this on the fly, so you guys are kind of seeing behind the scenes here. Any more questions that you guys have about the forecast as we go through tonight, please throw them in the comment section. I'll get to those guys in just a second as I sift through our giant library of graphics. All right, let's see if I can get that up on the screen. All right, so that might be a little bit better for you guys to see there, but there you go, about Block Island, 41 mile per hour gust there. Martha's Vineyard's at about 46, 44, West Hampton Beach, Long Island there. So it's really just to our south. We're just to the north of where some of the higher winds are right now, but I expect those to move a little bit closer to us as we head through, going through the next few hours there. Let's see what else you guys are asking about. So Kimberly, yes, so we'll notice those winds picking up as we move after midnight. I think peak wind gusts really midnight into the early morning hours there of Monday. Rain helps the fishing. Yes, it does. Lori, Terryville, a little bit of rain and a little bit of wind there as well. And it's currently raining in Waterbury. So guys, thanks so much for all the comments there. Now, as we go through tonight, again, we'll notice the wind start to pick up a little bit more, and we're going to notice that rain kind of sticking in with us as well. We'll keep an eye on those power outages as we head through tonight as well. We're going to notice, I wouldn't be surprised if we see those numbers tick up just a little bit more, especially if we end up getting some gustier winds. Things have been dry. We still have a good bit of leaves on the trees, but I imagine the trees have already been stressed out enough. So a lot of those leaves have already turned brown. So it's easy for them to fall off. We might lose a little bit of our foliage with this. But there are some areas that there's still a good bit of leaves on there. So that could cause some issues versus if this happened, say about 3 weeks from now, when most of the leaves may have already fallen. So something to keep an eye on there. But as far as the rest of tonight goes, we're just going to keep an eye on those winds. Our next high tide cycle starts in the morning. So if you're in one of those vulnerable locations, that's something that you might have to deal with a little bit, just some higher water. Minor impacts from that is really what I'm going to think there. And then we're just going to deal with on and off showers and breezy conditions as we head through our Monday. A couple other questions here. Is it going to ramp up quite a bit before dawn? I think, yeah, the bulk, Terry, is really going to be as we get past midnight and then through about 5 or 6 a.m. with those wind gusts there, at least at their peak, and then they start to decrease as we go through the day on Monday afternoon. Now, a couple of kind of things. We're going to get ready for the 11 o'clock here in a little bit. Now we're on at 11:30 because of the football game that's going on right now. So also, thanks so much for watching. I know there's football going on, so I appreciate you guys. But a couple takeaways here. Wind is going to be increasing just a little bit more as we go through tonight, so keep an eye on that. That also means that power outage risk will continue for us as well. Coastal flooding, minor in those typical trouble spots for our next high tide cycle. And then we're just going to keep with those rain chances as we head through portions of Monday and still a little bit breezy. Morning commute as we head through tomorrow morning. Rain jacket definitely needed there. If you do have work, if the kids do have school, I know tomorrow is Columbus Day, but if they're going off to the bus stop there, they'll need the rain jacket in the morning, and they're also going to need it in the afternoon, and so will you. So keep that in mind too. I'd keep the rain jacket, the umbrella handy. Winds are still going to be a little bit gusty in the afternoon, so you might notice that on the drive as well. But by Tuesday, we're better, still a little bit breezy, but we're moving in the right direction. Then by Wednesday, we are in much, much better shape. But that is going to do it for me here on YouTube, on Facebook. I thank you guys so much for watching. Of course, you can follow me on YouTube, follow my channel. You get more updates about the weather going on in Connecticut and in New England. I'm also on TikTok, all the social platforms. You guys can find me there as well. But we'll have more live updates coming up tonight after football on NBC Connecticut. So thanks so much for watching, everyone. We'll keep you updated. We'll see you at 11 o'clock. Thanks so much, guys.